Hello and welcome! So in the past few days I've been talking to a bunch of new players that do not know which is the best fighter out there. So yesterday I released a video about the medium fighters, and the day before that I released a video about the light fighters. So naturally today we're gonna talk about the heavy fighters. So yeah, stay tuned and let's cut straight to the chase.
Hello, my name is Grumpy. Grumpy Eye. Grumpy Eye. Grumpy Eye.
Alright, so I should probably make a preface here first. And say that the heavy fighters are not really supposed to fight the light or the medium fighters, because they're just gonna get their ass kicked, because the medium and the light fighters can just fly circles around them and destroy them, and that is that. Other than that, currently in the game you only have two heavy fighters, one of which is the Hurricane and the other one is of course the Vanguard, and yeah, there's a series of Vanguards, so yeah, we're gonna check them all out. Now just to keep it short, all of the Vanguards have 4 size 2 weapons and a single size 5 hardpoint that is located on the nose, and all of them have 2 size 2 shields. Now all of them can carry 32 size 1 missiles, with the exception of the Harbinger that can carry an additional payload of 3 size 5 torpedoes. If you're wondering why am I talking about the size 1 missiles, well, there's the link, top right corner, click it and you will understand. Now let's start out with the Vanguard Sentinel. All of them have the same visibility out of the cockpit, and all of them have the same MFD layout, so it's pretty much just a reskin with some different capabilities. Now the current specialty item that the Sentinel has is of course the EMP, the size 4 EMP. It is currently the second best EMP in the game. The best one is of course the Warlock's EMP, solely because the Warlock's EMP can recharge and cool down faster than the Sentinel's. So the Sentinel's EMP has a charge time of 20 seconds and a cooldown time of 40 seconds. Its maximum range is 750 meters and it deals 2750 damage. The Sentinel has a physical damage reduction of -2% and an energy damage reduction of -10%. Now all the ships in the Vanguard series have the same pitch, yaw and roll rates, while the Warden has the highest maximum speed, but we're gonna talk about that later. First, let's talk about the weapons. All of the Vanguards can carry the same guns, so you can either go with the repeaters or the cannons. The distortions are just like, don't use them because they're obsolete right now. But if you go with the repeaters, you're gonna have 17 shots on the main gun or the size 5 gun, and you're gonna have 44 shots per size 2 guns. That is, of course, if you divert all your power to the weapons. Now, if you multiply the number of rounds that you have per gun and the alpha damage of each gun, and you add all the numbers, and yeah, I know this is fucking boring, and I'm doing it so you don't need to, so yeah, this is the time when you hit the subscribe button, because like, I lost like 5 hours to this. But the total damage output of the repeaters, if you're only using repeaters, is gonna be 12,334 damage. Now you're probably wondering, what if I turn off my size 5 repeater? Well, that's what I was doing the past 5 hours. So if you turn off your size 5 repeater, you're gonna have 69 rounds per size 2 repeater, and they're gonna have the maximum damage potential of 12,144 damage. So basically, if you turn off your size 5 repeater, you're gonna deal 190 damage less than with all the guns, which is not that big of a difference. So if you lose your size 5 weapon, it doesn't really make a big difference. So yeah, just go with it. And just a quick disclaimer, all of the stats are just placeholders and they're gonna change, and I'm probably gonna do more videos, so yeah, subscribe. And this is what it is in 3.14. And you're probably wondering, well, what if I turn off the size 2 repeaters? Well, I'm glad you asked. If you turn off the size 2 repeaters, you're gonna have 45 rounds in the size 5 repeater, which is gonna deal 12,150 damage. And as you can see, it is pretty balanced, and you're not gonna really lose much damage potential if you turn off one of your weapons. Now let's talk about the cannons. If you use the cannons in a normal state, or if you have a size 5 cannon and 4 size 2 cannons active, you're gonna have 9 shots in the size 5 cannon and 24 shots in the size 2 cannons, which is gonna deal a total amount of damage of 26,748 damage. Now, if you turn off your size 5 cannon, you're gonna have 45 rounds per size 2 cannon, and the maximum damage potential is gonna be 24,840 damage. And as you can see, the difference is getting bigger now. But if you turn off your size 2 cannons and you run only the size 5 cannon, you're gonna deal 25,500 damage, because you're gonna have 17 rounds in the size 5 cannon. Now, you're probably wondering now, well, what if I run the cannons with the repeaters? And fuck you for asking. You're gonna deal 31,320 damage, and you're gonna have 8 rounds in the size 5 cannon, while having 35 rounds in each of the size 2 repeaters. While your total DPS is gonna be 3,510 DPS. And you're probably thinking, well, wow, I should then use the repeaters with the cannon, right? Well, no. The cannon's velocity, or the projectile speed, is much slower than the projectile speed of the repeaters, so it's gonna be much harder to hit anything. So yeah, just like choose your weapons wisely. Now let's talk about the turrets. The Vanguard's turrets have 2 size 2 weapons. You can use both the repeaters and the cannons on those turrets. So if you use the cannons, you're gonna have 220 rounds per gun, which is gonna give you a DPS of 807 damage per second and a maximum damage potential of 48,400 damage, which is awesome, but you're not gonna hit shit with those. Unless, of course, you're going for a bigger target. But if you use the repeaters, you're gonna have 301 rounds per gun, which will deal 800 DPS and 24,080 of maximum damage potential. Okay, enough with the maths. My head hurts. Let's talk about the Harbinger. So the biggest selling point for the Harbinger is that it has 3 size 5 torpedoes. They deal around 20,000 damage each. It depends on which one you choose. But currently the Harb's torpedoes are not gonna hit anything except you. They are completely bugged right now, and I hope that's gonna change in the next patch. Other than that, its top speed is the same as the Sentinel's, but its acceleration is slower, so yeah, just get the Sentinel. Now, the biggest selling point of the Warden is that it has its proprietary size 2 cannons that you cannot buy in the shops. You can buy all of the other weapons for the Vanguards except these cannons. So it is basically an overpriced set of cannons. Other than that, it has the biggest top speed, but its acceleration time is still slower than the Sentinels. Now, you probably noticed that I didn't mention the Hoplite. It's solely because it's trash and it doesn't give you anything better for like combat. It has less amount of missiles, and I mean, we're talking about fighters here, and it is not a good fighter. Now let's talk about the Anvil Hurricane. It is the bane of my existence, and I hate it as much as I love it. First of all, it has the smallest cross-section of all the heavy fighters, and it is actually a smaller ship than most of the medium fighters, which is just like plain ridiculous. And it can carry up to 8 size 1 missiles. But its primary armament is gonna be the 2 size 4 guns in the front, which have a maximum capacity of 76 rounds per gun. And if you go with the repeaters, those will deal 1280 DPS, or its maximum damage potential is gonna be 12,160 damage. Now, if you go with the size 4 cannons, you're gonna have 58 rounds per gun, which will give you 1260 DPS, or 24,360 of maximum damage potential. While the visibility visibility out of the cockpit is really good. The MFD layout is just like you don't really see them while you're fighting. But the biggest selling point of this ship is its turret. In the current state of the game, this turret is just like too OP and it needs to be nerfed as soon as possible. If you go with the repeaters on the turret, you're gonna have 250 shots per gun, and it has 4 guns. And that's a total amount of 1,000 rounds, or it's actually 251 per gun, so it's 1,004 rounds, right? So yeah, that needs to be nerfed, because like, I don't know if you know, but all of the turrets have aimbot now, so you just need to aim close to the target and the game is gonna do the rest for you. So that is the primary reason why I love and hate this ship at the same time. Now, if you use the repeaters on the turret, you're gonna deal 2000 DPS. And if you hold your left mouse button and aim in a direction where the enemy is, eventually you will deal a maximum damage potential of 60,240 damage. But if you choose to use the cannons, the DPS is still gonna be the same, but you're gonna deal 120,000 damage total. And that's gonna be your maximum damage potential, so you just need to hold left click long enough, right? So, yeah, so this is what the game is now, right? Now, its speed is comparable to medium fighters, but its pitch, yaw, and roll rates are terrible, which is good because it's already too OP and it needs to be nerfed like in the next patch, please. Now, it does have one less shield than the Vanguard, so that's gonna be one size 2 shield, but its price is just marvelous. It's 1.2 million, and you can buy it at Area 18, and yeah, you're probably gonna reef and close Port Olisar with it, and yeah, because everybody does that apparently, so that's the game now. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to bring a towel when you're traveling through space, and ta-ta-da-da-ta, fuck me, I mean subscribe! Yeah! Yeah, I'm just waiting for you to subscribe. Thank you, love you, bye.